Okay, Professor Ranjit, narinig ko po
Okay,
yung
good.
interview ninyo the other day, no? Sinabi ninyo na mukhang kailangan, well, nag-agree ka kay Professor Dr. ano, no? Kay Dr. Mahar kay Dr. Mahar ng SWS. Yung sinabi niya na I think we need to be formulating newer questions. On your end, ano-ano kaya yung mga yun at itong nagresulta nangyayari ng 2025 election, ano ang learnings ng OCTA dito na maaari nyo magamit in the future?
The surveys are still relevant. They're still reliable. Yun ang unang-una, no? I hope that I can be heard, no?
Yes, yes.
I can only talk about yung results, surveys namin sa OCTA. And one thing's for sure, no? When we came out with our survey results in April 20 to 24, lahat ho ng probable na mananalo, kasama ho.
Yep.
So yung actual na nanalo, kasama ho sa list namin ng probable na mananalo. Okay, so wala kaming problema of the top 12. It was just really the rankings that were a big problem with us. And I think it was common in all the surveys na talagang we thought Senator Bong Revilla, but si Ben Tulfo and Abby Binay would be on top. But of course, voters changed their mind. Gaya nga ng sinabi namin, 20% of our voters were making their decisions only on the day of the voting. And now we know that almost 81%, a high voter. But at the same time, there was also the issue of, while there was a high voter turnout, many voters did not fill up their 12. Alam mo yun? So, apart from changing their minds and movements happening on the ground, one is the dissatisfaction with the administration. Two, voters were basically choosing between two alternative movements, no? The Pinks, yung Pink Revival at yung ating mga Dilawan, and then the second, yung Duterte, no? Alliance, no? As a choice. And so they chose, no? On the ground. The surveys did not account for that. And I think in the end, those soft votes, those voters who are young and who are engaged and who went out to actually vote, we're not covered, no? We're still going to study. Alam mo, Lourdes, hindi tayo makagawa ng magandang assessment dahil wala pa tayong datos galing sa actual na elections. So kami, sa OCTA, when you look at our own survey, yung April 20 to 24, makikita naman ng mga kababayan natin we got the winning names there. Pero ang problema, yung aming ranking. And we were very clear in that survey na talagang it was too close to call and that rankings were going to change. That being said, I think we got it wrong in calling Ben Tulfo, Senator Revilla, and of course Mayor Binay in circle. So there's something wrong in the survey. We didn't get that right. So essentially, we got 9 names right out of 12. But what seems to be clear is that not all surveys included Bam Aquino, not all surveys included Kiko Pangilinan. In OCTA survey, we included these names. They were already in the winning circle. It's just that we did not predict their resounding win because it was 3 weeks before the elections. Now, that being said, we still didn't get it right for those 3 names I mentioned, no? And so sa OCTA, we to look at the data first, are from the actual votes. And you have to understand that it's the vote that will validate the survey, not the other way around. No?
Correct.
Yung survey mag-validate ng vote. Yung boto ng tao, I think, personal, it really defied the surveys because we were expecting more entertainers to win. Okay? We weren't expecting Heidi Mendoza to get the votes she was getting. Okay? She got more votes than entertainer Willie Revilla.
Yes.
That's something, diba? It wasn't just Heidi Mendoza. It was also many of our progressive candidates from the left got higher votes than what the surveys were initially showing. So at some level, voters came out prove the surveys wrong in some sense, no? That to prove the trends wrong. They came out for BAM and Kiko in ways where still we don't know who actually came out for BAM and Kiko, except that when we look at the survey results of BAM and Kiko, a big chunk of their supporters are really from Gen Z and millennials. So, you know, this hypothesis lang yan, wala pang datos talaga. They may have come out in bigger numbers than expected. They did not vote straight. They did not. They may not have filled up their ballots completely, but they did fill up enough, averaging 5 to 7 names, and these helped the candidates win, including Representative Marcoleta, which is another big story here. So, yun yung is it the demise of survey companies? Hindi naman. 9 out of 12 is still not a bad batting average. No, we're not. No, or actually, 9 out of 12 is still not a bad result. It's just that we are used to surveys being exit polls. Hindi ho exit polls, kaya ako sinabi sa Channel 7, hindi tayo crystal ball. These surveys are not deterministic. They're probabilistic.
Oo, di ba?
Probability lang. Well, that's not an excuse, no? Kasi we still called it wrong eh. For Senator Revilla, Mayor Binay, and Mr. Ben Tulfo, we still need to study the data. Yun nga. Pero surveys, no, it is what it is. We released the survey 3 weeks ago. So many things happened on the ground that were not, in a sense, reflected in the survey. And may not, even if we did something in May, which we could not afford to do naman in the first place, baka hindi rin namin nakukuha yung mga trends na yun. So, surveys are still relevant. The majority of the names that came in, and in Octa's case, 12 out of 12. No? When you look at our April 20 to 24, we said Kiko Pangilinan had a very good chance of winning. We said Bam Aquino was already ranked 12. So, 3 weeks before, we saw essentially a very tight race. That being said, we also predicted very big wins for the Allianza. It didn't happen. We predict wins for certain individuals. They lost. So we need to study. We need to study the results, the actual results, as this election concludes. We'll probably get the results of COMELEC, see how far we were as far as the surveys were concerned. Thank you.
Okay. So, yung sinasabi nila, useful minsan ng surveys kapag, okay, dati, may isang senador na tumatakbo sa pagkapangulo na dinemanda ang mga survey firms. Sinasabi itong ninanakawan daw ng pagkakataon yung mga voters. Well, pag iba English yung pagkano. Pero basically, yung mind conditioning daw. Pero narinig ko rin sa interview kay sa SWS noon, ano, na ilang beses tinatanong mga tao, hindi raw talaga naka-apekto ito. Pero Professor, parang joke, pero pag sinabi mo na parang may takot factor yung mga nakikita nilang potential ng mga sunod na batch ng senador nila at na-mobilize nito yung certain sector. Medyo may katotohanan siguro yon, Prof. Ranjit.
I think so, no? So many things happen na kasi na we think of surveys kasi as crystal balls eh. Pero the thing is, the reality is our electorate came out and they chose to vote against the administration. Okay, the administration bets. Number two, they had two choices of movements, and they their choice, no? And in these movements and their candidates got very good actions, notably the Pink, Dilawan, those representing moderate liberal politics, and what people argue is the Duterte side, no? Which some argue it's populist, some argue it represents a different kind of politics. What's clear is that people have spoken, and it's important for us to study it. Rather than be defensive about surveys, I would say that surveys are a snapshot talaga. Hindi siya talaga crystal. And if we did not have 100% now, we were pretty close to it. And it was not easy. In 2022, OCTA got until 13 correctly, pati rank. Now, we were only able to get the probable 12. Alam mo yon? So 12 out of 12, we were able to say Kiko Pangilinan was going to win, Mark Coleta was going to win,
Pero
Sam
Prof.
was going
Ranjit,
to win. But,
sa totoo
but
lang,
not completely.
Opo.
Yeah, completely. We got,
Prof. Ranjit, sa
we
totoo lang,
got Bato, correct. More or less. May range yan eh.
Prof. Ranjit, okay, bitin po tayo pero kami sa media mas okay na ito'y pinag-uusapan natin kaysa sa tumataas sa mga COVID numbers anytime. Prof, maraming salamat po sa oras po na binahagi ninyo sa amin.
Thank you.
Opo. At belated happy anniversary pala sa inyo.
Thank you also. Thank you for always hearing us and letting us show our data.
Maraming
we all won in a sense because the midterms happened.
Yeah.
So congratulations to us, no? And I think the outcome is something we can live with, and a lot of the progressive forces I think are happy because voters came out to vote. Thank you.
Cheers. So we all deserve a drink, ano? Yan po mga kapatid, nakausap po natin si Professor Ranjit Ray, ang political scientist mula sa UP at president ng OCTA Research.
All right, this is